We're running a couple of minutes late at the moment, so yeah, thank you for being with us and for being patient with us. We'll start the meeting in a wee second. Thanks. Okay, thank you everybody for being here this afternoon. I think this might actually be the first in-person IJB audit committee that I have ever attended, and it's my last one, so I don't know what you're all saying with that particular state of affairs. Before we start the meeting proper, I'll do introductions, etc. in a few minutes, but I've got a statement that we read out because we've got a hybrid meeting context. So welcome to this meeting of the Inverclyde Integration Joint Board Audit Committee. This meeting is being held remotely and also in person and will be filmed and recorded for live subsequent broadcast available through the Council's website. The Integration Joint Board is a joint data controller with Inverclyde Council and NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde under the UK General Data Protection Regulations and the Data Protection Act of 2018. This meeting will be broadcast and recorded to fulfil our public task obligation to enable members of the public to observe the democratic process. Data collected during this meeting will be retained in accordance with Council published policies available through the Council's website. Members of the IJB Audit Committee are reminded that they should follow the IJB's established meeting protocols, which were circulated to us, including around the use of the chat facility, and also reminded that comments that are made in the chat facility are visible to all participants in the meeting, which may include members of the public who have also received invitations to attend. Thanks for being with me on that one. So our first item of business is apologies, substitutions and declarations of interest. I've had the advance notification of apologies from David Gould and from Charlene Elliott. Are there other apologies or substitutions?
No, that's it. Chair will now move to a roll call before proceeding to declarations of interest. And the following board members please indicate if they are present at the meeting either in person or remotely. Councillor Robertson.
Present in the chamber.
Councillor Quinn.
Present in the chamber.
Simon Carr.
Present in the chamber.
Diana McCrone.
Present in the chamber.
Are there any declarations of interest?
No declarations. I think it's probably still wise just to let everybody know you've got your own microphone in front of you and to press the middle button, which should put a red light on. That lets me know, first of all, if you want to speak at any point, but also then amplifies your voice when you are speaking, just so that everybody knows that that's there. And can I also, before we go any further, welcome. I'm hoping this is actually his name and he's not just got somebody else's name on the bottom of his wee square at the online, but Chris Paisley from KPMG, one of our external auditors. So welcome, albeit remotely, Chris.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Thanks very much. So we'll move on to item 2, which is the minute of the meeting of the previous audit committee that we had, which was the 20th of March. And can I just go through it page by page for accuracy, first of all? Page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. So I'll be quite content that that's an accurate rendering of that particular meeting. Thank you very much. And just before we move on, is there anything that anybody else wants to bring up about the minutes that will be covered in the agenda? No? Okay, so moving on then to our IJB Audit Committee rolling annual work plan, which looks at the schedule of actions that have been agreed at various meetings and also the routine schedule of all the work that's taking place. Andy, you want to anything you want to say about this or no?
Through you, Chair, so it just sets out the normal reports that would be expected at each committee, and it's just allows some forward planning by the audit committee. Thanks, Chair.
There's nothing that we particularly want to draw attention. Are there any issues or points that anybody within the committee wants to bring up about the action plan? It lets us know where we are, what we're expecting in the future, and everything from today is on the agenda, and we know what's happening with it. So thank you again to everybody for contributing to that. It's a useful aid member to know what's on our horizons as an audit committee. So thank you for that. Moving on then to agenda item 4, which is the internal audit progress report from February to June. And assuming I will be covering that. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Chair. So since the last audit committee meeting in March, we finalised the audit of the implementation of the board's pandemic response and recovery arrangements. The overall control environment opinion was satisfactory. However, one amber issue was identified in relation to demonstrating compliance with the Civil Contingencies Act. Specifically, there is a need to formally notify the Integration Joint Board of the steps taken by officers to comply with the Civil Contingencies Act and to obtain ongoing assurance from the Inverclyde HSCP regarding its compliance with this legislation. The audit identified 2 issues and an action plan is in place to address both issues by the 30th of June. Chair, as an update, there's a report going to the IJB separately today on the action plan. The audit plan for 22-23 for the IJB is now complete. In relation to internal audit actions, there was one audit due for completion by the 31st of May, which has missed the deadline set by management. There are 9 actions currently being progressed by officers, and the current status report is attached to Appendix 1. Relevant officers are in attendance at the meeting today if there are any questions. Paragraphs 3.12 and 3.13 set out work undertaken by the Council and also the NHS, GG&C auditors, which may be relevant to the IJB. Thanks, and happy to answer any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks very much, Andy, for presenting that report to us. Are there any questions on this particular report? Interesting to know that the action plan has been presented to the IJB later on, and we've got one missed deadline, but things are in hand in terms of addressing that anyway. So yeah, we know that there are some things that have occurred, but we know what's happening with them also, nothing's left hanging. Any other comments or questions? Okay, are we okay to go with the recommendation then of noting the progress that's been made by internal audit for the period February to June? Thank you very much. Agenda item 5 is statement of external audit action plans. Or Andy, back over to you.
Thanks, Chair. So this sets out the action planning report for the 31st of May. There was one action due for completion which has missed the deadline set by management, and there are 3 current actions being progressed by officers. The current status report is attached to Appendix 1. Relevant officers are in attendance today to answer any specific questions that the Audit Committee may have. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thanks again for presenting the report to us. Any questions on this particular paper? Again, the transparency is there of we are where we are, and this is where things are. Nothing's left hanging. We know what the plans are to remediate. So everybody okay? So again, we're noting the progress to date in relation to the implementation of external audit actions. That's the recommendation that we're putting. Thank you very much. Moving on then to agenda item 6, which is the external audit annual audit plan 22-23. You want to do the introduction here?
Thank you very much. Yeah, this is the external audit plan that we've got, which we present every year. At this point, we've started a new contract with a new auditors, KPMG, and we're delighted that Chris Wesley has joined us today to take us through this next part. So without further ado, I'm happy to pass over to Chris, if you'd like to come in.
Thanks, Craig. Over to you, Chris.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Please do shout up if you can't. Yeah, as Craig said, my name's Chris. I'm a senior manager at KPMG, and I'll be leading as the audit manager for the audit this year under the new contract as referenced. The paper that's presented to you is a standard part of our approach, in which, and you'll have seen it before with previous auditors, in terms of setting out the work that we've done around risk assessment and how we intend to execute the audit. And there are a number of items within the report which are we're required to report to what we call those charged with governance, which is shorthand for, or longhand perhaps for, the audit committee. So within there, we have confirmations around the expected materiality level for the audit that will apply, the risks that we've considered, and you'll see that we've set out why we believe that the income and expenditure flows within the entity are sufficiently simple and subject to no estimation uncertainty, and therefore we rebut the presumed risk of significant risk around income and expenditure. We don't, and we would never rebut the risk of management override of controls, which is something that we address almost by default as part of the audit approach. We've also set out in the latter part of the main report and also in the appendices some more detail regarding our wider scope work and best value work, and the really just the nature of that and the things that we will cover as part of our risk assessment and report to you on later in the cycle. There is also an independence confirmation in one of the appendices, which confirms that we regard ourselves as entirely independent of the IJB, and therefore there are no matters that we need to consider in terms of putting in place specific safeguards around independence issues. I wasn't going to say any more than that. I'm happy to, given you've had the paper for a short while, I wasn't going to say any more really. I'm happy to take any questions from the committee.
Thanks very much, Chris, for that. That's really helpful, and thank you for sort of setting out the stall for this first year of your new relationship with the IJB Audit Committee here in Inverclyde. We look forward to working with you. Are there any comments or questions that anybody has on this particular report? No, that's it. Chris, you've got carte blanche to go ahead, go into the next year and prosper. That's you.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
Fantastic. So thanks, Emma. We have to take note the annual audit action plan for the coming year. Moving on then to item 7, which is internal audit annual strategy and plan 2023-24. Andy?
Thanks, Chair. So this report sets out the planned internal audit coverage for the Integration Joint Board for 23-24. The plan is set out at Appendix 1. This has been aligned to the IJB's risk register and shows previous audit coverage and planned coverage for 23-24 are linked to other assurance work being undertaken within the partner organisations. As there are no areas of high risk which sit above the appetite line which require to be reviewed this year, these areas have been subject to a previous audit within the last 5 years. It's been agreed with the Chief Finance Officer to undertake some assurance work around best value arrangements for the Integration Joint Board, and also to review the SIPA Audit Committee guidance, which was recently updated in October 2022, specifically looking for any areas of best practice improvements. And that's all I really have to say on the report, but I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks again for going through that report and for preparing it, and thanks for all the mapping against the risk register, etc. It's really helpful having it articulated that way so that we know that this is all in relation to the risks that we have identified, and we've set a risk appetite statement that says where we are in terms of the risks. So that would be my comments first of all, and open it out to any other comments or questions about the strategy and plan for the coming year internal audit wise. No, this is shorter than your average meeting here, I have to say. This is slightly different. We're not being asked to note this paper, we're not being asked to approve it, so just check that everybody in the committee is happy to approve this as the plan for the coming year. Thank you. And moving on then to our final agenda item, internal audit annual report and assurance statement for the year that has gone by. Angela.
Thanks, Chair. So this report sets out the annual opinion in relation to the adequacy and effectiveness of the Partnership Board's governance, risk management and control procedures for 22-23. The annual audit opinion takes cognizance of the audit work carried out for the IJB, in particular the audit plan, and relies on the assurances provided by the auditors of Inverclyde Council and also NHS, GG&C, and the assurance certificate that comes forward through the council's governance processes. The overall opinion is that reasonable assurance can be placed upon the adequacy and effectiveness of the system of internal control, governance and risk management for the year ending 31st of March, and also in terms of the council and the health board assurances, they were also satisfactory, such that reasonable assurance can be provided to the board in relation to the partner organisations. It's quite self-explanatory, the report, but I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks again, Andy, for another really clear report. Are there any questions or comments on this one? Not okay, the clarity is there for all to see. So are we happy to know the content of that report also? Recommendation for the day? Okay, thank you very much. That's to make a few comments before we go, because obviously that's a bit of a transitionary changeover point in the IJB cycle, and I'll be stepping down from not only the audit committee and the IJB, but also the IJB, and Simon's leaving us as well, so it's been incredible working alongside you for the last 6 years. 6 of your 8, you've been here much longer than I have. But thank you for everything that you've done, both in terms of audit and in the wider IJB context, and we'll really miss you. So I just wanted to say that and likewise, I'm still getting out though, so I know that you don't get to see the back of me that easily.
Can I press the button?
Go for it.
Well, thank you very much, Chair. That was most unexpected, and I'm very grateful for your comments. And it's been great. I've really enjoyed working with you and your colleagues over the last, well, it has been 8 years for me. It feels like 8 months, but, you know, and as I said when we were having our lunch earlier, you know, I've really, really loved being part of the team at Inverclyde. It's been a great experience for us. It feels very much like home to me. So I'll maybe make a trip to Greenhead more often than once every 3 years, which is the last time I've been. So thanks everybody. I'm grateful for Vicky to keep us on the straight and narrow. You know, I don't think we've had a misstep. I've never had a misstep in 8 years. Yeah. And I'm grateful to the Secretariat for all the support they've given us. So, and I've got to be grateful to Andy given the work that she's done here today. So thank you very much. I'll miss it. I will. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Simon. I can totally echo that. I will miss IJB, etc. And just thank you to everybody. I've said thank you to Simon because he's leaving, but thank you to everybody who's staying as well. Thank God you are. But you know, honestly, just the amount of work, the amount of attention that we do regularly give to making sure that IJB is held safely. That's the kind of whole point of governance, is holding our institutions and the people that they serve safely. And thank you to everybody for the jobs they do every day, make sure that happens. So thank you. And I don't have anything else to say. I don't know if anybody else wants to come in at any point, but if that's us, then see you all at 2 o'clock at the big IJB. And thank you very much, Chris, for your attendance.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.